Hey, what's up guys, my name is Jedi. Today we're going to be looking at the top 10 facts about Mexico that you did not know. So let's get into it. Number 1 is that Mexico is not the real name of Mexico. Kind of funny, right? Well, the real name of Mexico is actually Mexico. No, I'm just kidding. The real name of Mexico is actually the United States of Mexico. So there are actually 31 states, including the federal district, which make up Mexico, and each state has their own different laws, police, and customs and everything, including the phone number too. So the real name of Mexico is actually the United States of Mexico, just like America. Number 2 was the capital of Mexico was not always Mexico City. So the actual capital was changed on 2016, and the capital before Mexico City was actually the Distrito Federal, which is the federal district. So that was the actual capital before they changed in 2016 to Mexico City. Number 3 is a food fact. So, burritos. We all know the burritos are from Mexico, but did you know that burritos are only eaten in the north? And they're also like completely different slangs in Mexico. For example, in rest of like Spanish-speaking countries, countries, a torta isn't a cake, or a torta is a cake, but in Mexico it's not. And then they also have they have like the Mexican pizza, which isn't an actual pizza, but they have like dough, toppings, and sauce. So Mexico does some unique stuff which other Spanish-speaking countries don't do. The next fact is really funny, considering the fact that a lot of Americans tend to not like Mexico because of its weather and the conditions there. But the largest immigration, or the largest group of immigrants in Mexico are actually Americans. So this is really funny because Mexicans usually come to America, and Americans do the exact same thing. So it's pretty cool that the largest immigration group in Mexico is actually Americans. Number 5 is that in Mexico, you should not throw your toilet paper in the toilet. So the Mexican like plumbing systems aren't really built to take in paper. So usually in Mexico, people just throw the toilet paper into separate bins called toilet paper bins. So you can just throw it in there. It's kind of like a trash, but then they clean that too. But it's just like not, the plumbing there isn't really like paper friendly. So that's why they encourage throwing your toilet paper into the toilet bins. Mexico is one of the only places where they have women-only buses and carriages. So this is pretty cool. But then the thing is, many women there say that they would rather travel in the men's carriages because the men there are really kind and they give them their seat, whereas the women aren't really that kind because they're all women. So it's pretty cool that they actually surveyed like a bunch of women, and they actually said that they would prefer going in the general one because more men are actually giving up their seat for women, whereas the women don't. So I thought that was pretty cool. So Mexican kids do not receive gifts on Christmas Day. Yeah, no, it's really shocking. I mean, I'm sure a lot of kids are thinking right now, like, oh my god, no, I never want to go to Mexico. But the thing is, the Mexican kids still do get gifts. But it's just on the day of the Three Kings, which is on January 6th, which is a huge celebration where they have like where they have a huge parade where they have 3 kings. And there's parades that go all over the entire city, and all the kids get gifts on that day. The next fact is that Mexicans do not celebrate Cinco de Mayo. So Cinco de Mayo, also known as the 5th of May, is usually like it's a holiday in the USA, and it's to celebrate the independence of Mexico. But it's not actually the Independence Day. The Independence Day is actually on September 16th, and in Mexico, they just celebrate Cinco de Mayo as a commemoration for the Battle of Puebla in 1862, which took place to guard a city from the French. The next fact is that there are jaguars in Mexico. What a big deal. There are jaguars in the US too. You see them racing in the highway. No, not those jaguars. Real, actual, like the feline cats. So they have actual jaguars in the jungles, in like the southern jungles, but they do also have them, roaming around the city, like sometimes in like the rural areas. So if you're there, and if you go to the Mayan ruins or someplace as like a tourist visit, which you should definitely go, but you should be careful about the jaguars there. The last fact is probably the most silliest fact, and it's also the funniest fact. So, in Mexico, shaving and driving is a crime. So texting and driving, drinking and driving, we know that, those are definitely crimes. But shaving and driving, in Mexico, they have a specific law for people who shave or put on makeup during driving, and that's actually like more penalized than if you're texting and driving, which is really funny. But still, you can't shave and drive because you just can't do that, right? And yeah, Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to comment your score below of all the facts if you knew any of them. If you knew at least one of them, make sure you guys like write that down which one you knew. If you knew all of them, 10 out of 10. If you knew some of them, put in your score, and make sure you guys write more questions for something you would like to see in the future. So if you would like to see like Mexico, like facts about Mexico part 2, make sure you guys leave that down in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram at Jedi0303, and make sure you guys subscribe. It really helps. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.